So I just commend Wajay.
Thank you, India, for commenting on that. And I'm going to follow up with, with what you're saying. I wholeheartedly agree. And what I want to say is that I'll just mention Callie Wood in chat is saying not all relationships are bad. And that's not what we're trying to say. You are absolutely right. Not all relationships are bad. But we are trying to come to a solution and to get the people that are in good relationships to do whatever they can to help the ones that are in bad relationships to make that relationship better or help people to find a way out of it. Because men or women, we don't deserve to be in a bad relationship. There's no reason for that. But to comment on what India had said based on what YJ said, there was a gentleman that called, and I'm not going to say his name, but he called India's show, and there were several others as well. But this one particular gentleman called India's show, and he saw the movie. And I'm going to try to quote him, but I'm going to do my best. But after seeing the movie, when he left the movie, he said he could not wait to get home and take a shower. Okay? Now, we're talking about a man that just saw a movie, not the actual situation that happened to this person, but just from seeing the movie that was made by Tyler Perry based on the poetry, okay, the book, it got to him so bad that he just wanted to go home and take a shower. And I'm saying for him to say that, he must have felt dirty, okay? Now, put yourself in the place of the woman that was going through this. All right? Now, why do you think that so many men are having a problem with seeing the bright side of this movie? Okay? If a man is feeling this just from seeing a movie that he want to go take a shower, what about the woman that went through this? How do you think she's feeling? He had to live. This is reality. What happened to this woman was written in poetry, but it happened to her in real life. And Tyler Perry is putting it out there not to bring down anybody, but to wake us up. And like India said, we've got to do something about this. We can't continue to treat our women this way. Okay, I'm a woman. I'm speaking from my perspective. Okay, I didn't live this. And I went to see the movie twice. I went today to see it again. Because, sometimes you see a movie one time and you miss certain things.
Right.
So I went back to see it again. And you know what? I almost cried from the second time. There was one part in the movie, and nobody really knew it, that I was there before to see the movie. I literally waited, because I had to go to the bathroom, and I literally waited until that record started playing, and I walked out and went to the bathroom. And if anybody saw the movie, knew what came after that record was playing. And I came back in, and I could hear the music playing that was showing that whole scene, and I stood right by the door until that was done. And then I went back to work. Now, I'm here to tell you, I have never experienced anything like that in my life. But the feeling that I felt from that was unbearable to me. Now, for somebody to have to go through that, our dear sister, to go through something like that, and we have children that are going through that, men that are going through that, and all we can do is find fault in what has been shown to us, What we need to do is step up and correct the wrong and make it right. This is what I'm getting from the movie.
Mhm.
I don't see Tyler Perry trying to bring down the black race or beat up on the black men or degrade the black men. The black man is degrading himself.
Mm.
Now, not many of you know this. I'm from South America, from the Hispanic descent. I'm Hispanic. But when you look at me, I look black. Okay? Now, we all got the little census card. Look at your census card. People that came from South America is from Hispanic descent. Okay? But regardless of what country or what part of the world we come from, we're all human beings and we have feelings. We all have a tendency to abuse our women. We have a tendency to abuse our men. And when somebody tries to bring it to us and show us what we're doing wrong, instead of us being thankful and say, okay, we've got to do something about this. We cannot allow this to go on any further. We don't see that. And I think it's high time we wake up and do what's right and take care of our black people. That's what I'm getting from this movie.
Mhm. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't see Mr. Perry, Tyler Perry, as degrading African American men. I see Mr. Perry showing us all a reality, a painful, brutal, horrific reality that, for whatever reason, is often self-induced. And I think the reason why so many people are touched by it is because it's striking a nerve in some context. How much of our madness that we find ourselves binded and choked by, how much of that madness was or is due to our own behaviors in some way. I think that until we can scrub ourselves down and do a brutal assessment of our own madness, until we can do that, and maybe for men this is more difficult. Maybe as a woman, you know, we can come together and women tend to talk and girl this and girl that, even though a lot of times we, you know, tend to cover up stuff too. But maybe for men this is more difficult. But I just believe that Mr. Perry has struck a nerve. And when men call and are disturbed by this, that nerve is rattling. And frankly, I think that's a good thing. I think if someone were to see this piece of work and not have nerves struck by it, I think that would be quite problematic. I too sat in the theater until all the credits rolled with just tremendous tears. I just felt like, how can I help? What can I do? How can we continue this dialogue as you are doing, Navazor, and I so commend you for, how can we bring more light to this instead of sweeping this under the carpet too, as difficult as this is. I think what Navazor is kicking off here this evening is what is absolutely necessary, a continuation of this dialogue where people have safe places to connect and release and begin to acknowledge some of the madness in their own lives.
Thank you, India. And, you know, I'd like to go on to say no more excuses, men and women. No more excuses. There's no reason for this behavior. You know, we grew up with music that, you know, encouraged you to do wrong. But we didn't live that.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we're growing up with the same type of music, but in a different way, you know, we have choices. We have a conscience, okay? So what is wrong with us using our conscience, okay, using
Mm-hmm.
our right-thinking ability, because we know right from wrong.
Yes.
And if you know right from wrong, I don't care if somebody tells you to do the wrong thing a million times.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do. You have the choice to say whether you want to or not, whether you're going to or not.
Mm-hmm.
And if you choose to do the wrong, then you have to deal with the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want the world to continue in a peaceful way, we've got to start now. I'm 52 years old, and I've been going through and seeing these type of things go on in the world from the time I can remember. You know, when are we going to put a stop to this?